So let's kick it off with this first story. And listen, we all know that death is a universal part of life. And usually, someone's obituary paints a positive picture of that person, even if they weren't actually a good person. So one daughter in BC dropped the rosy facade and ended up writing a brutally honest obituary about her recently departed dad. So, for example, the obit begins with, quote, "I am pleased to announce..." Oh, yeah, like, we're not joking here. So it goes on to describe her late father as an abusive and miserable human, and says that because he treated people with disdain, there will be no funeral service. Listen, it's harsh. Is this going too far, Julie?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna assume there was no inheritance, yeah? Because if there was like a couple $1 million, she'd probably be like, he was a generous soul, right? Yeah. So no inheritance, probably. I think it's funny because this person actually had her obituary rejected by the funeral home.
That's right.
And then made the extra step of self-publishing. So she really wanted us to know what he was. Can I not say that? Okay, sorry.
Penis,
Okay,
maybe. Penis
what
is
a
okay.
penis he was. Thank you so much. I just kind of think of how dangerous it is, too, to let somebody else control your narrative, because there's at least two sides to every story. So I think I would just do my own. I would, like, just pay in advance for an editorial in case I died, and just be short, like, I didn't like most of you, peace, or something.
Yeah, you know what? I don't like it. I really don't like it. And I'm not saying that you can't have a bad relationship with a family member and have your feelings, but starting with like a celebratory, I am pleased to announce, to me says more about her than it does about him. Clearly, she still has a lot of trauma that she's dealing with the passing and the relationship she had with her father. And I'm not saying that she should lie about the relationship she had just to make it sound like he was a great guy. You can still be honest without being happy, seeming so happy for him to be gone. And, as I get older, I realize, our parents are people too, and they have their traumas and they have their issues, and sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And you have to lead with grace. And I wish that she had led with grace because, Jane Fonda has this documentary that's on Crave. I highly suggest you guys watch it. And she talks about having a rough relationship with her mother. And then she found out stuff after her mother died that opened her eyes as to why they didn't get along. And in that moment, she felt really bad about the relationship they had. And this woman might have that, but she's already put it out there with all this animosity. And I think that she needs to work on that trauma herself and not put it down on the page to last forever in an obituary. That's just my feeling about it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? Like, especially, we don't know anything about this person. If they were a heinous, horrible person who didn't have any friends and was treated everybody like garbage and never got help or whatever, like, it would be hard probably to put a pen to paper and be like his absent father, like, and be like, trying to write something glowing. So, I mean, I reserve a bit of, acknowledgement for not knowing what that would be like. You know what I love, though? I love a funny obituary. This is what I hope for, and I feel like you'll get this, too. We rarely see them, but when somebody, and obviously not all circumstances of death will be appropriate to create something like that. But if I live a long, healthy life, I hope somebody writes something like this obituary. This is from...
okay. So you wrote... I'm sorry, did you write your own...
It's not for me. No. This is one that I saw.
I was going to say, I can read it for you, and you could just sit there.
No, this was a line from a man named Bill Eves' obituary. He passed away a few years ago. I think he was from Ontario somewhere. Here's one of the lines. Perhaps most important to Bill was educating people on the dangers of holding in your farts. Sadly, he was unable to attain his lifelong goal of catching his beloved wife, Judy, cutting the cheese or playing the bum trumpet, which he likens to a mythical rarity or spotting Bigfoot on a unicorn. So there were so many lines in this obituary that had me in stitches. And I think if you can't celebrate a life well lived with some laughter, then, like, what are we all here for? Like, I really...
Yeah.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.